these are players that, we will share our players today, but you probably have them too. If you listen to fantasy analysts, if you even go back to the NFL draft, there are scouts and GMs. You just think about the movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner. There's the guys that you're willing to pound the table for, that you make a racket about. You declare your allegiance to that player. It's the no matter what, I'm in. I want this guy on my team, and I'll do whatever it takes. And I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to tell you how great he is. Now, sometimes you don't want to tell your league mates, but if you're talking to people outside of your league, you're saying, oh, I can't wait to draft this player. I know that he's going to be good. I know that he's trustworthy. I know that I'm going to target him, all those kinds of things. And so to get this started, Bijan Robinson has been that guy for me. Here are the other players that I am pounding the table for. Dalton Kincaid with the Buffalo Bills. Yes, their wide receivers will be okay, but Dalton Kincaid is going to be the guy, the number one passing threat or receiving threat in that passing attack in Buffalo. I'm also pounding the table for DK Metcalf. And he's been a guy that he has been a wide receiver one before, but he's also slipped to sort of that, that wide receiver two guy, maybe a little bit of an underachiever. But I love getting him late in the second round, third round. And so I think he's going to have a huge year with a new coaching staff. I'm all in on DK Metcalf. And then every single episode, I've said it over and over, Kamani Vidal. I'm not going away from it. I continue to pound the table. LA Chargers running back. He may be third or fourth on the depth chart now, but he won't be for long. He will not be for long. And then I'm also pounding the table for Chase Brown. He's not great in the preseason game, but I was reminded today, last year, he had the second fastest run of the season. The guy's got speed. He's a weapon in that Cincinnati Bengals offense. So Chase Brown is another guy I'm pounding the table for. Trip, give me a couple names. Who are you pounding the table for this year?
Look, man, I'm with you on DK. I'm with you on DK Metcalf. DK had a bad season last year, right? Do you remember what he finished? It was like, depending on your scoring format, it was like wide receiver 16 or 18. And at
Still
least,
a stud.
According to Fantasy Pros, he's being drafted at his floor right now. I don't think, barring an injury, which is true for every player, that if you draft DK, you're going to be at where he's going right now. You're going to be disappointed. I want to talk about, since you went with a high-end guy with Bijan, I want to talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ooh, okay.
Here's my bold prediction for this season. Amon-Ra St. Brown will be the highest scoring non-quarterback in fantasy football this year. That's my prediction, not just in PPR leagues where I feel really great about that prediction, but even in half PPR. I think Amon-Ra is so good. The Lions don't play outside until week 14,
which is a huge deal. Say that again.
Huge.
They are in domes.
They play so fast inside. They score. They move the ball so quickly and score so much that I think, again, barring injury, which Amon-Ra, he get a little nicked up every once in a while. I just think that he could be the wide receiver one and maybe the highest scoring player overall. That's a non-quarterback, I should say.
That's a bold statement, but reasonable. He's right there in the mix with the top receivers for sure. And to your point, though, Detroit's schedule, the home games, the dome games, it sets them up nicely. But also, I've noticed in a lot of mock drafts, you can get Jared Goff so cheap.
Yes,
he's absolutely worth snagging.
Yeah,
because if St. Brown does what you think he can do, and I think that's possible for sure, Goff's going to put up pretty good numbers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got to pay up for Amon-Ra. Goff, you don't. He's
free.
QB 14 or something like that. That's a stack that you could feel great about all season long if you get those two guys together. So I love Amon-Ra St. Brown this season. Things keep going the way they're going with CD. Maybe I'm starting to think about Amon-Ra up there in one of those top three guys, which, bold prediction, I guess, but I love him. Another wide receiver, Deontay Johnson. Now, we're here in Charlotte.
Yes.
I am a lifelong aspiring Panthers fan. I say aspiring because they make it hard. They make it hard sometimes.
Struggling.
But hey, look, last year, Adam Thielen, older wide receiver, even when, the Panthers were terrible last season. It was a rough season. And there were weeks where Adam Thielen still won you the week. He was a relevant receiver for huge portions of the season last year. I think that guy is Deontay Johnson this year. I don't think that the Panthers are as bad as they were last year. It might still be tough. They're not going to be as bad. I think Deontay Johnson is a really, really good wide receiver who, in a similarly difficult situation in Pittsburgh last year, frankly, kind of checked out a little bit. So if I have a concern, it's maybe kind of the tendency to take plays off and take games off if things aren't going well. But I think he's going to get a ton of targets. And I love Deontay. I mean, I have Deontay Johnson on every team that I've drafted so far this season, every mock draft that I've done. It's just like he's your wide receiver 4. And I think he could be a strong wide receiver 2, maybe, So I love Deontay as well.
No, I agree. I think, if you're drafting him as a 4th wide receiver, you will get more production than that.
Yeah,
for sure. With the guys around him, ADP, yes, the value is there. And listen, he's done it with mediocre quarterback play. And so I'm not expecting Bryce Young to be a superstar by any means. That's not my judgment of him yet. I got to see it to believe it. But even if he, to your point, does similar to last year, Deontay Johnson can put up big fantasy numbers, especially where you draft him. So yes, I will pound the table for Deontay as well. Last year, I pounded the table for Adam Thielen, and I hate to go against him, but I feel like Deontay's the guy.
Thielen still may be serviceable as well. I mean, I think he's going to be playing and good, and he's got the relationship with Bryce Young, so he's not going to be. You're not going to feel too bad about him either.
Interesting, yeah. So these are the players that we are pounding the table for, and again, it's this mindset of this is the guy that I believe in. I'm behind. I'm putting my my draft picks or auction dollars behind this guy, and I'm all in.